I wanted to do something a little different and do a video blog. So this is my first time really doing this. So I don't know if there's a right way to do it, but I'm just going to do it. Wanted to talk about something that has really been impacting my life. Just coming out of probably one of the hardest years of my life, and just learning how to find a new normal and cope with different things. And something that's really helped me is the idea of positive thinking. And I think that positive thinking is a lot harder to do than we think. I think we're naturally ingrained to dwell on the negative and think about what is wrong with us, with our life, than focusing on what is right or the positive things. I think that positivity takes practice. So some things that I'm realizing is, one thing we can do is basically this idea of picturing our positive future. I think that when you're in a negative circumstance, it's very easy just to focus on the negative and to just think that it's just going to be this way forever. And it's hard to look past the present into the future, and you feel trapped. And so one thing that has really been helping is this idea of journaling about my future. And so every day for about a week now, I've been writing down what I see myself doing in the future, my positive self. So having, a healthy, awesome relationship, picturing myself where I'm going to be in my career, with my photography, with health and wellness, my health, my well-being, my mental state, and basically writing these things down in my journal every day as if they are already here or what they will be, and just confirming it in my mind that it's possible to have that kind of life. So that's been something that's been really huge. And I think that the other thing that is helpful is the idea of gratitude journaling. And I really think that, we have this thing as human beings that we just adapt. So when we get something that we really have wanted or desire, we kind of get used to it, and we just kind of take it for granted, and it becomes normal. And we forget how blessed we are. Little things for granted. It just reminds me of when I went to Argentina on a trip, and I'd never been in a third world country before. And I remember just looking at these people who had basically nothing, and they were so thankful in their lives and still so giving, even though they had nothing compared to the material possessions that we have. And I remember also the water. Like, we had to drink bottled water the entire time just because the water was so dirty. And I remember coming back and just being so grateful for water because it's readily available and accessible to us. So I think that, and I made a promise to myself. I got rid of a bunch of my stuff. I gave it all away, and I'm like, I'm never going to take this stuff for granted again. I'm going to be so grateful. And then, eventually I adapted. I forgot about how I felt on that trip. I forgot, and easily, things become, forgotten. So I think that in order to not adapt, sometimes we need to write down the little details that make us feel grateful. So gratitude journals, can be simple, just writing down basic little things like, things that you would normally rush over, like savoring them in the moment, like, feeling raindrops on your skin, or coffee, or clean water, or a warm blanket, or a hug, or a smile, and writing these things down. And I think that people who are grateful have just better immune systems, they have better proven sleep, they have better mindsets, and I think that, life is what you make it. Your reality is in your hands to create, and you can either view everything that's going wrong, or you can view everything that's going right. And so I'm learning how to do this, and learning how to be grateful, learning how to think positively. Another thing that's really helped is when I have a negative thought that comes in my head, whether it's some sort of lie that I will always be this way or this will always be this way, I counteract that by writing down the positive thought instead. And basically it helps retrain your brain to think about the positive thought instead of the negative. And I'm just learning how very powerful the mind is and how much it dictates so much of our well-being. And I've said this before in this blog that wellness is more than just eating well and moving well. Those are two huge components, but the main one I think is thinking well. And I think when you think well, it affects every area of your life. And it's just so easy to let your mind run away with you. And instead, we can learn to control the mind and control the thoughts that we have to help give us a better, positive outlook on things. So I just wanted to share this and just talk about how being positive is work. A lot of people say, oh, she's such a positive person or he's such a whatever. And I think that some people are naturally disposed to being more cheerful, but I think that we have a lot more control of it than what we think. So here's to you, just thinking positively, starting to train your mind to think about the good things. And whenever a negative thought comes, just start writing down a positive thought instead that counteracts that negative thought and see what it does for your mind and your well-being. So I hope that you have a happy, healthy holiday season. And thank you for reading my blog. That's all. Okay, bye.